Wellness webinar. This is Laura Maloof Miller, Wellness Program Manager at HealthNet. And of course, Kristen Kayla, Health Promotion Consultant, also at HealthNet. We always remind everybody of a few housekeeping items before we begin. The first one is that all of you have been muted upon entry, and that's, of course, to avoid any background noise. Also, at the end of the webinar is a short anonymous survey, so we'd really appreciate your feedback. And if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please chat directly to Kristen. And like she said, everyone who registered for this webinar, whether you could attend or not, will receive a link to this recording in just a few days. All right, our topic today, ease your mind with nature. So this webinar is perfectly timed for this season. As we transition into winter, it often brings on added stress and a longing to be more calm. The days are shorter, the weather's cooler, so it's easy to feel disconnected from the outdoors. So during this session, I'm going to offer some simple and effective strategies for reconnecting with nature and helping you to find peace and rejuvenation during this super busy holiday season. Oh, please keep in mind, the information in this presentation is intended solely for the general information of the audience. It's not medical advice and shall not replace consultation with your physician or other qualified health provider. If you have any health-related questions or problems, please seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider. So now, we're right in the middle of the hustle and the bustle of modern life. So the restorative power of nature on our mental health is increasingly recognized. So what we're going to do today is explore some nature-based therapeutic techniques and ways to incorporate nature into our daily life. This is helping us enhance our well-being. We're going to uncover the transformative potential of nature and discover practical methods to cultivating inner peace and resilience. I have a few nature videos that I'm going to be showing today. So stick around until the end of the presentation. Right after I review our wellness program slides, we're going to end this presentation on a quiet note with any remaining time that we have. So this will give you an opportunity to practice what I'll be discussing today and give you a little bit of a relaxation break with a beautiful water scene from Bora Bora. Now, if you're not jetting off to an island for the upcoming holidays, this video will make you feel as if you're right there, enjoying the sun and the sound of the water. So again, if you can, please stick around to the end of the webinar. All right, nature, it does a body good. I get it. It's a play on a milk commercial, but in fact, nature does have a positive impact on our body. Think about it. How much time do you spend staring at a screen each day? You're staring at one right now. Be honest with yourself. For most American, that number clocks in at about more than 10 hours. So let's face it, of course, we rely on technology, and that with a combined global trend toward urban living, that does mean many of us are spending less and less time outdoors, even as the scientists compile evidence of the value of getting out into the natural world. Why are we drawn to nature? Well, there's a large body of research documenting the positive impacts of nature on our human flourishing, on our social, psychological, and emotional life. Viewing nature can be rewarding, producing a flow of positive emotions and calming our nervous system. These in turn help us to develop greater openness, connection, generosity, and resilience. Now, nature helps in emotional regulation and improved memory functions. A study on the cognitive benefits of nature found that subjects who took a nature walk did better on memory tests than the subjects who walked down an urban street. Recent investigations revealed that being outdoors reduces stress by lowering that stress hormone, cortisol. Nature walks and other outdoor activities build our attention and focus. Now, these are pieces of evidence that indicate strong environmental connections to be related to better performance, heightened concentration, and reduced chances of developing attention deficit disorder, or ADD. Now, a study at the University of Kansas found that spending more time outdoors and less time on our electronic devices can increase our problem solving skills and improve our creative abilities. Like many of you, I have got a full schedule. And for all that flexibility I have with how I spend my time, I don't know about you, but I wind up using it all. There are very few breaks in my day to unwind. I have responsibilities of work and family life. But by the end of the day, I'm actually more mentally exhausted than I am physically exhausted. So, what can we do when our brains are tired? It's important to take micro breaks throughout the day. Simply look out a window, gaze at a green space, or take a brief stroll during lunch, and try to avoid looking at your phone while you're at it. But you need to treat these breaks as an opportunity to briefly unplug. When we do, we feel more restored, and actually, our mental performance improves too. Now, forest therapy is rooted in the Japanese practice of forest bathing. Now, it's not like a literal bath. The term refers simply to immersing yourself in the atmosphere of a forest. The intent of forest bathing is to put people in touch with a present moment experience in a very deep way. That's from clinical psychologist Susan Albers, who says the sights, sounds, and smells of the forest take us right into that moment. So our brains stop anticipating, recalling, ruminating, and worrying. Now, one 2007 study showed that forest therapy reduces cortisol. Remember, that's that stress hormone. Research conducted in 2010 found that people who walked in a forest twice a day for 2 hours, so that's a total of 4 hours of walking in the forest a day, they had greater levels of cancer-killing proteins and immune cells. In 2011, another study found that forest therapy was beneficial. It reported that forest bathing had a positive impact on blood pressure and a protein that helps regulate blood sugar levels. But a more recent study cast some doubt on that. It found that forest bathing didn't necessarily have an impact on blood pressure, but it did reduce depression in a significant way. So when you take all these studies together, science on forest bathing does make a convincing argument that spending time in nature can improve stress, anxiety, and depression. Dr. Albers explains that forest therapy enhances brain oxygen levels due to the surrounding trees and vegetation engaging in photosynthesis. So, this process involves the plants absorbing carbon dioxide from the environment and releasing oxygen, resulting in higher oxygen levels in forest compared to an urban environment or an indoor environment. So breathing that fresh forest air can support blood oxygenation and therefore potentially improving your brain function. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What if you can't get to the forest? Well, according to the World Bank, about 56% of us, the world's population, currently lives in urban areas. And they actually expect that number to go up to about 70% by 2050. So it raises an important question. Are there ways for people to take advantage of forest bathing outside of the forest? A 2022 study indicated that location does matter. It found that walking in an actual forest had a greater effect on cardiovascular health than, of course, walking in a city park. But when it comes to grounding yourself, something is always better than nothing. So if you live in a big city and you can't easily get to a forest, you could go to your local park or green space. While it might not give you the exact same feeling that you get tramping through the wilderness, studies do suggest that walking in an urban park can improve your mood, even your memory. We're going to watch a quick video here on forest bathing. So let me go ahead and launch this. I apologize. There'll be a couple of short commercials before the actual video, so I'll skip those as soon as I can. Oh,
The
and it
famous
didn't show up.
naturalist John Muir once said that the clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness.
Whoops. I just wanted to increase my volume here.
And I couldn't agree more. My name's Michael Mortale, and I'm the director of the Kripalu Schools here at Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health in the beautiful hills of Western Massachusetts. Forest bathing is a very simple and powerful way to reconnect with who we are in our natural setting. And it's based on this crazy idea that being in the woods is good for us. The practice of forest bathing is really simple. All you really need is a place and a focus on the present moment. And then begin to walk with an awareness of each step. And as you walk, allow your senses to expand. Noticing the cool touch of the breeze. Perhaps noticing the sounds of the forest. Maybe there's birdsong. The wind moving through the leaves. Noticing the play of light through the canopy. As you continue to move through, if you notice something that catches your eye, perhaps a beautiful tree or a view, take an opportunity to stop and be with that experience. Allowing your journey through the forest to unfold like life unfolds when we're present, naturally, organically, and without control. Sometimes we'll be surprised with the little treasures that we'll find when we're fully present in the moment and not somewhere else in our minds or our thoughts. And that with each breath, we're sharing the atmosphere with the trees and the plants. That what you inhale is their exhalation. That what you exhale is their inhalation. And in so doing, affirming your place within creation. And allowing your journey to take you where it will. Knowing that at any point you can come back, and always in the practice returning to where you started. Hopefully with a renewed sense of well-being, peace of mind, and an appreciation for the life of which you are a part.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just kind of a little explanation of what forest bathing is. Um, Now, if you have not heard of this term before, essentially biophilia is our intrinsic urge to bond with nature and living creatures. It's evident in simple pleasures like strolling in a park or enjoying the coastal breezes or even just gardening, all of which experts suggest are ingrained instincts in humans. So it underscores our innate connection to nature, from the blades of grass to the insects in our surroundings, emphasizing its essential role in our lives. Now, biophilia was coined in 1964 by German born American psychoanalyst Erich Fromm. Fromm. And while the phrase was coined by Fromm, it was Harvard biologist Edward O. Wilson who wrote the book Biophilia 20 years later, exploring how evolution has impacted our biophilic tendencies today. The research suggests that biophilia can positively impact our well being by affecting our physiology, our psychology, and our cognitive functions. Wilson emphasizes the importance of regular nature contact in brain development and acknowledges our deep rooted appreciation for living things shaped by evolution. If we look at health in a holistic sense, then connecting to nature is one of the best things you can do for our well-being. Now, whether that's adding aspects to your home or just spending an afternoon in your local park, biophilia can boost our immune systems, support mental and emotional health, create social connections, and aid physical recovery. In fact, bringing in aspects of biophilic design can also help reduce anxiety, improve cognitive performance, and make for a better night of sleep. So, think about your office or your desk space. Have you got a view of the yard? Or are you near a window which lets in beams of natural light? Perhaps you have some plants in your room where you work. Indoor plants offer a vital element of biophilia. Live plants are busy working away in the background. They clean our air of toxins and they boost oxygen and humidity levels. Let's take a look at some health benefits of the outdoors. Air pollution can trigger allergies, asthma, and other respiratory diseases. You may already know that, but it might surprise you to learn that indoor concentrations of air pollutants are often 2 to 5 times higher than outdoor concentrations. But spending more time in natural green spaces could help lower your risk of respiratory concerns. You generally find the freshest air is going to be in places that have the highest air circulation. So, for example, camping in an open field, that may actually give you more relief from pollution than resting along a river that happens to be walled in by skyscrapers and factories. You want that air circulation. Working out in green spaces also helps to boost your motivation to exercise. And that's because outdoor exercise, well, it offers a nice change of pace from gyms and can actually make physical activity more interesting and more enjoyable. It's a lot easier to socialize. Sometimes those gyms have the unspoken rules. Oh, you can't chat to the person next to you on the treadmill. Exercising outdoors feels easier and less strenuous. Now, this is according to a 2013 research suggesting that people who walk outside, they actually tend to exercise at a greater intensity, meaning it's harder, but they report less exertion. And, keep in mind, you don't have to participate in a triathlon or ski down a mountain to enjoy exercise in nature. Any activity that gets your body moving in a way that's doable for you, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's playing with your dog at the park, maybe it's washing your car. That can also offer some health benefits. It's been noted there was some evidence suggesting children who spend plenty of time outside have a lower chance of developing nearsightedness. That's trouble seeing far away. Now, one 2020 study, which included over 10,000 children between the ages of 9 and 11 in Taipei, researchers found that children who spent more time outside at recess were 22% less likely to develop nearsightedness than their peers. Well, why is this? Experts have suggested a few potential reasons why spending time outside could help protect against nearsightedness. One, natural light offers brighter and richer collection of light wavelengths to see with. The outdoors lets your eye practice looking at objects from various distances. They also noted that this benefit only seems to be effective or be a true effect when the eye is growing. So spending time outside can't reverse nearsightedness in adults. So I won't be throwing away my contacts anytime soon. However, regular outdoor activities in childhood, like playing catch, swimming, going sledding, might just save your child a trip to the optometrist down the line. Now, outdoor time can do more than just relieve unwanted or painful emotions, things like fear, worry, sadness. It helps to promote the positive emotions, things like happiness, peace, and optimism. Even going outside at night, this can leave you with a sense of awe and connection to the world. Plus, the drop in noise and light can help you focus on the world around you more easily. If you'd like to forge an even deeper or more spiritual connection with the nighttime natural world, think of nocturnal activities like stargazing. I remember one time my friend and I were at the Grand Canyon and we took the nighttime tour. That was absolutely amazing. Now, if you're like me and you have a busy schedule and you don't have much time to get outside, well, these tips might help you get a quick nature fix. If you happen to have 5 minutes, stand outside with the sun on your face, or take off your shoes and feel the grass between your toes. Well, if the weather isn't so great, maybe take a few minutes to gaze out the window at the scenery outside. If you've got something like maybe 25 minutes, go out for a stroll, take some deep breaths. You could even eat your lunch outside or take a phone call or in a meeting outdoors. Here are some other fun things to experience nature: planning a picnic with family or friends, find a park or a green space to enjoy a meal. Maybe don't forget the frisbee or the soccer ball. You could rent a kayak or a canoe. You could find a hiking trail you've never been to, or dust off your bicycle and go for an easy ride around the neighborhood. If you've got a pet or borrow somebody else's pet, you could take a dog for a walk in a nearby park. You'll enjoy it as much as they do. Grab a book and find a shady tree to sit under. Other opportunities include things like bird watching, camping, gardening, fishing, mushroom picking, even just watching the clouds or watching a sunrise or a sunset. Okay, here's some ideas for getting out into nature when the weather isn't so good. You should invest in some waterproof jackets, boots, umbrellas, in order to stay dry. Even a short walk in the rain, that can actually be really refreshing, especially if you've got the right clothing. You could take a scenic drive through a forest or a mountain or the coastline. You can enjoy the changing weather from the comfort of your car while you're connecting with nature. If the weather really is too harsh, maybe you just open a window and listen to rain or wind while doing something relaxing like meditating or journaling. You can embrace the beauty of nature during rain or snow by taking pictures of it. Weather adds an extra dimension to landscapes and wildlife photography. Even in bad weather, a walk along the shoreline can offer a unique experience with the waves and the weather creating a dramatic landscape. If you'd rather stay indoors, visit maybe like a greenhouse or an indoor garden that can still give you the calming benefits of nature while staying sheltered. It's winter. How can we get the benefits of nature if we're stuck indoors? Here's some other ideas. Amazingly, just looking at pictures of nature scenes can make us feel like we're spending time outdoors. A recent study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health found that you can actually reduce stress by simply looking at good nature images. So when participants viewed pictures of natural scenes, their stress level decreased because their parasympathetic nervous system, that's the one that helps us to calm down, was activated. What about nature sounds? Even just listening to nature can help relax us and improve our mood. A research team at the University of Florida looked at how nature's sounds affect people's mental and physical health. So they measured pulse rate, muscle tension, and self reported stress of a group of people. Then they had them listen to one of three sounds: nothing, so silence, music by Mozart, or ocean waves. So when the researchers gave them another medical exam, they asked them how stressed they felt. So they saw no significant change for the people who listened to silence or classical music. But those who had listened to the ocean waves had considerably lower muscle tension, heart rates, and stress. And the scientists noted that these positive changes, they occurred really quickly, like within 5 to 7 minutes of listening to the sounds of nature. We also know that plants and flowers have been long known to cheer people up. Research done in hospitals, offices, and schools has found that even a simple plant in a room can have a significant impact on reducing stress and anxiety. Plants boost healing. This was according to a study at the Kansas State University. Researchers learned that viewing plants during recovery from surgery led to a significant improvement in physiologic responses. Patients had lower blood pressure and less pain, anxiety, and fatigue compared to patients who didn't have a plant in their room. In addition, studies found that patients who were able to view nature scenes or plants in their room experienced less pain after surgery. Just fascinating. You can include pictures and objects of nature that are in green and blue colors. Put those in your house. Those help to calm us down. Also, you can look at live webcams. You can see everything from the bottom of the sea to oceans and beaches all around the world right there on your screen. You can watch water running. You can look at trees. Zoos, they have set up the live camera so you can see animals, in their natural or nature-like environments. And a lot of the national parks have webcams too. Of course, this was super popular in the pandemic when we couldn't get out and socialize. So people really started using the webcam. So those are good ideas as well. Oh, we're going to take another quick look at, this is literally 1 minute, a nature sound video. All right. So again, that was literally 1 minute. Put it on your calendar just to set aside a few minutes each day to take a quick little nature break, especially if you can't get, outdoors. Here's some other ideas is that bringing the outdoors indoor. So you want to decorate your living space with color hues from nature. So think about blues, greens, browns, splashes of bright colors, even like from flowers. Imagine nature's colors on your walls, your upholstery, even your decorative accessories, even decorating your desk with a nature element. So even changing your desktop wallpaper, your screensaver, even adding a cute little plant to your desk can be beneficial. Here's some other ideas. My husband does this. We've got an indoor garden, which is actually in his office upstairs. And so he's growing some herbs. And then we use those in our meals. And then also using potted plants as and or fresh flowers as decor. You can hang nature scenes, photos on your wall, and creating a comfortable sitting area by a window and with a little bit of a view there. Or you can grow plants or flowers on your windowsill or even a garden. Okay, and so natural light. So besides reducing your energy and potentially lowering your electric bill, natural light boosts our body's vitamin D storage. Now, vitamin D is important for absorbing calcium and promoting bone growth, as well as preventing certain types of cancers, heart disease, depression, and weight gain. Yet, many Americans have a vitamin D deficiency due to the lack of getting outdoors, like outdoor sun exposure. Vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin. So you get outside, since scientists are suggesting that vitamin D may be helpful in treating many different disorders and diseases. Did you know that the natural light leads to higher productivity? Now, a study by the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology found that employees working in natural light recorded higher levels of energy than those working under artificial light. It may be beneficial to our vision too. So think about computer screens, smartphones, and fluorescent light. All of those can cause eye strain, which could potentially lead to permanent eye damage. And natural light helps you sleep. Research shows that the amount of sunlight you receive during the day has a direct impact on how much sleep you're going to get at night. So, direct sunlight, especially early in the morning for at least half an hour, produces the most benefit for a good night of sleep, while artificial light has no effect. And exposure to natural sunlight increases the production of serotonin. So, that is a hormone that is associated with improved mood and feelings of calmness. This is why people often feel happier on sunny days. That is absolutely true of me too. I'm happier when it's sunny. If I happen to drive over to the beach and it's foggy, my mood tends to go down a bit. It also fights seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, SAD. We know in the darker months, many people experience SAD. Now, that is a form of depression linked to reduced sunlight exposure. We're in the wintertime. So, natural light or sometimes light therapy can help alleviate those symptoms by stimulating the sunlight that happens to be missing. Ecotherapy. Now, this is an approach that rests on the idea that people have a deep connection to their environment and the earth itself. In this same line of thinking, failure to nourish this connection can take a toll on your well being, especially your mental health. So, through eco psychology, now this is an emerging field, the consensus among experts remains consistent. Spending time in nature can have a positive impact on your mental health. Now, ecotherapy can involve loosely structured activities such as walking along a beach or going for a hike. You can also choose to participate in more formal approaches, often with a guidance from a therapist. Some of the approaches include things like community gardening. So you garden with your neighbors on shared land. That actually offers a chance to grow your own produce, build relationships, and spend time working outdoors. Some programs also even teach things like farming tasks, like tending animals or crops. Maybe you want to try wilderness or adventure therapy. So, this approach to mental health treatment teaches coping techniques and therapeutic skills to teens and young adults as they camp and they hike in the wilderness with their peers. I don't know if you've heard of this before, park prescriptions, but an increasing number of healthcare providers and mental health professionals, they're starting to recommend that people spend a specific amount of time each week outdoors, visiting a park or pursuing other outdoor activities. And maybe you've heard of animal assisted therapy. So being around animals, so petting, playing, or working with animals like horses, dogs, and birds outdoors can also offer another way to manage stress. Outdoor meditation or yoga. So we know already that yoga and meditation offer well-established benefits, but they might even prove to be even more rewarding when they're done outside. So many ecotherapists or ecotherapy practices also prioritize building a two-way relationship with nature by giving something back to the area. Maybe that's collecting trash or helping to plant trees. Even small efforts to reduce your carbon footprint, recycling, composting, and limiting driving can benefit you and, of course, the planet. And when you spend time in a natural environment, you're more likely to use your senses to experience your surrounding. Think of calming sounds like birds chirping or rustling of leaves that can help detach from traffic, work conflict, or ordinary stressors of everyday life. So, turning your attention toward the scenery can also help you practice focusing on the present instead of mentally cycling through worrisome thoughts. By spending more time in nature, you might even unintentionally build a mindfulness habit. But what does the research say? Existing evidence does suggest a link between nature therapy and improved mental health, resilience. And according to a 2018 review of studies, children living in rural areas tended to have greater resilience to stress, higher levels of self worth, and improved concentration and cognitive abilities. Time outdoors can also promote creativity and strengthen their sense of self. For post traumatic stress disorder, the same review found support for ecotherapy as a promising intervention for veterans who are living with post traumatic stress. A 2017 review emphasizes the potential benefits of nature therapy for symptoms of post traumatic stress disorder, particularly for those who have had it's a difficulty following other treatment programs or they found them unhelpful. What about our nervous system? Research from a 2010 study suggests that when you're exposed to stress, the sounds of nature may help your nervous system to recover faster, of course, than the sounds of traffic or other common city noises. And for, of course, improved well being. A 2020 review suggests that gardening at home can promote emotional well being. And research from a 2019 study also supports the benefits of gardening for patients at a psychiatric hospital. Many of them reported better moods, increased calm, feelings of belonging, and a deeper understanding of their mental health. So these findings lend support to ecotherapy as a hopeful treatment approach. That said, scientific research still has some ways to go before nature-based treatments join the ranks of evidence-based treatments such as cognitive behavioral therapy. But true ecotherapy does generally involve guidance from a trained therapist, but you can absolutely create your own nature based wellness practice with some of these strategies as well. So, here are some simple ways that you can connect with nature. Wherever you are today, just look around. Simply bringing your awareness to the presence of nature around you will help strengthen this connection. For example, food, water, plants, animals, the weather, or the season. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you touch? And what do you taste? Go outside and leave the screens behind. Turn off your phone or silence it. This helps to be fully present. Observe the world around you, the plants, birds, clouds, the natural beauty, and even maybe right out your window. Start with something you already do. For example, breakfast, maybe on the weekend. Can you bring it outside? Can you sit on a porch or your balcony? What about reading? Can you take that outside? Even having friends over, can you do that outside? Even taking a quick break outside to feel the wind or the sun on your face. In my backyard, we have squirrels that always run by on the fence. We have leaves that are falling from the trees and birds that are always singing. We often overlook or don't even notice the natural world around us. So start to notice more and give thanks for just by pausing before a meal or looking at a sunset or even a flower. When we take the opportunity to connect with nature, we remind ourselves of how much goodness and beauty exists in our world, and we bring more peace and joy and healing into our lives. As I said in the beginning, thank you so much for your attention today. I'm going to do a quick review of our wellness programs. Then we're going to end this webinar on a quiet note with sounds from Bora Bora. So don't forget, HealthNet members, you can find your wellness information and programs when you're logging into your HealthNet account. Health risk assessments, they give you a snapshot of your health status. So we're looking at areas like nutrition, exercise, emotional health, and financial well-being as well. Healthy habits, they can be a challenge to change. So don't do it alone. Maybe getting help from a health coach can help you make some lifestyle improvements, such as maybe managing stress or eating healthier. Get support with your family, your friends, and a coach to help keep you motivated. Craving to quit. This is our tobacco cessation program. It's designed to help users who are ready to quit to permanently break their addiction to tobacco. Also in California, don't forget, Kick It California is open to all Californians, and that is a free program. Eat Right Now focuses on helping participants with their healthy eating habits rather than dieting. We know life is stressful, so Unwinding by Share Care helps to guide you with rebuilding resilience and decreasing chronic stress. HealthNet members, we also have a lot of discounts, so don't forget to look into those. And we also offer a lot of online health challenges, mostly on the topics of stress, steps, and sleep. They are open to everyone. HealthNet members, in January, we have Live in the Green, where you'll be tracking your habits. And in January 2025, Navigating Your Wellness Path. So we'll learn how to set smart goals, integrate physical, mental, and emotional health into a comprehensive wellness plan, and much more. So hopefully you'll join us in January. All right, I'm just going to run this as we just have a few more minutes left. I'm just going to run this, so just relax and watch lovely scenes from Bora Bora. Thank you again for joining us today. Whoops, skip this. I can. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're going to run this for about 10 more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and exit the webinar.